Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to test your APIs inside of Android Studio. So to begin with, you want to ensure that you are currently using the latest version of Android Studio. Right after that, you have to navigate to the plugin section in settings, and then you search for HTTP client, and you ensure that you have the plugin installed. So you can see I already have it installed in my IDE. So next up, you go to the root layer of your project directory, and then you get to create a new file. So in this file, I'm going to name it API test.http. So you ensure that the file you're creating ends with the .http extension. So I go ahead and create the file. So you can see it has a section for you to choose the environment, and you can run the API as well. Now, for us to be able to set up our environment, we go to the project layer again and create a new file. And this time we name the file http client.private.env.json. Now, this time, why we are using private, because if you navigate back to the HTTP file, we have private file and public file. So we have created a private file. And inside of the private file, we are going to define our test environment. So just like you work with JSON files, so the first environment I'll be creating is the dev environment. And inside of the dev environment, you can define several variables. For instance, I could define the user token inside of the dev environment. I could define the base URL inside of the dev environment as well. And you can go ahead and define multiple environments. So I could define the staging environment as well, or I could define the production environment. So now we have defined these environments. We go back to the test file and we can now select the environment. So this time I'm selecting the dev environment. So let's say I want to make a post request to google.com. So I get to type in post and then the URL. So I get to put google.com. Now, if I want to attach parameters to the URL, I get to use the body. And since we have linked we've set up the environment of this HTTP request, I can then call variables from the dev environment. So let's say I want to pass in the token inside of the URL. So I could go ahead and type in token, right? And then if you want to add headers, you can go ahead and add the authorization header, and then you set the value, which is bearer token, and you define the value as well. If the value is a token, you get to pass the value. So you can then run this API call, and then you see the response in your response log. So you can get to check the response, and you see, so if this base URL is accurate, you're going to get the response in your log, and you can as well check the request payload for that API call. So this is how you can test your APIs inside of Android Studio without getting to switch from Android Studio to Postman or to your Swagger collection. And again, you can as well import your API collection. If you have it as a file, you can import it by using the add button, and then you import your API collection as well to make it easy for you to test right inside of Android Studio. So let me know if you found this video helpful.